From now on, Ukrainians who participate in mass events will feel even safer. Police have established dialogue in Ukraine. Police teams specializing in communication will be placed in a crowd to monitor the situation. The proactiveness is a key principle of the work of such units. Why? Because many things happen in life. But even the smallest problem during a mass event can create an image that could show our state either from its good side or from the bad one. The communication police exist for the sole purpose of preventing such misunderstandings. It must ensure the peace and safety of citizens, both in the streets and during mass events. Such practice has long existed in Europe. Sweden has become the fourth country to adopt the experience of creation of the dialogue police, after Britain, the Netherlands and Denmark. But how does it work? As soon as we receive a message about or a request to hold a mass event, for example a march of football fans, we send representatives of dialogue police there. They discuss and coordinate all the details of the event with the organisers of the mass event. After that, the representatives of dialogue police, wearing special reflective waistcoats with bright inscriptions "Dialogue Police," are placed directly in the crowd to maintain constant communication with the organisers of the event and observe the events there. Ukrainian policemen have also borrowed the experience of European countries. Together with the UATV, they have started reformation of their activities, namely ensuring law and order at mass events. Every country has a name for such units. They are called anti-conflict groups in the Czech Republic and dialogue police in Sweden. Their name in Ukraine is either dialogue police or communication police. According to Denis Movchan, such a name is the most acceptable for our country. If you introduce yourself as an anti-conflict group, you might be asked, "Why have you come here? There is no conflict. We are holding an event." The most important thing in working with citizens is communication, conveying certain messages on how to behave so that they would be safe and would not cause inconvenience to other citizens. It is very important that the police know the psychology of the crowd, be able to communicate with it or act quickly if necessary, stresses Patrick Johannesson, leading advisor to the EU advisory mission. Knowledge, assistance, communication, differentiation, a different level approach, and action for anticipation is the main principle of the dialogue police's work. Well-secured communications at all levels of government, from leadership to the lowest level of a police officer, help to ensure law and order and correct actions during mass events. That is why communication is one of the most important tools of police dialogue. Differentiation in the work of the police helps to identify the individual that could create problems during mass events. The multi-level approach is that the police determine how many human resources have to be employed to ensure order: 20 or 200 men. Action anticipation is based on the police working with the organisers of public events to give them hints on what to do, and then the public themselves will help them discover the people who violate peace and order. Now we understand that such an approach, such methods of police dialogue, help win the trust of citizens and provide law and order during mass events. In June last year, Ukraine conducted pilot training regarding the activities of the dialogue police. According to the results of that training, European instructors, together with the national police, have reformatted the concept of training, especially for Ukrainian cops. The EU advisory mission has conducted 6 trainings in Ukrainian cities concerning the dialogue police. They took place in Kiev, Kharkiv, Lviv, Odessa, Khmelnytskyi and Dnipro. And now, just a few weeks ago, the last training took place for the representatives of the Ukrainian dialogue police. In total, 120 Ukrainian cops took part in the training. 20 of the best policemen were elected. Now they will teach their colleagues in the regions. But the work of the advisory mission does not end there, says Michael Locke. International instructors will continue to help the Ukrainian police with the necessary equipment, walkie-talkies and reflective vests in particular. In order for this initiative to be successful, you have to test it in practice, get your own experience and understand what works and what doesn't work in reality. This year, pilot projects in 11 regions of Ukraine have started. It should be noted that communication groups are not separate departments or posts, but just an additional function entrusted to the police units of preventive activity, patrol police, and even special purpose units. That is, those services that are most often involved in working at mass events. Every policeman must undergo psychological training and be able to communicate professionally with civilians. But we are all people. Some do better, some do worse. And our idea is that we select the people that are better at it. We have given them knowledge that is to be used at public events, so that those people would go to mass events on an ongoing basis and communicate with citizens. After all, sometimes a few words said by the police can cause a mixed reaction by the crowd, they say in the profile institution. Now there will be cops in Ukraine that are going to know how to convey messages to citizens so that they would be perceived in a correct and positive way. The national police are convinced that communication groups will help significantly reduce the aggression level of mass event participants and simplify the work of patrol police and special police.